Brother George, in obedience to the great head of the church and upon the profession of your faith, I do baptize you now in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Okay, so hey guys, I just thought real quick I'll film this video. I look bald-headed right now because my hair is in braids. I actually braided my hair up right before church, and now since I've been submerged in water, my hair has shrank to this length. The braids were this long, and then the braids like shrank to this whatever. So just basically a debrief of my weekend, of my Sunday. I want to talk about me being baptized first real quick. So yes, I was baptized today, and I don't even know, I feel like it hasn't hit me yet in a way, because I'm just so busy with the kids and, you know, the hustle and bustle of the household, that I just haven't really had a moment to myself to really like feel something, I guess, but I'll get into that in a minute. So basically, which this could possibly be its own video. I might make this its own video. We'll see. But anyway, it's been a long time coming because, well, first of all, I've never been baptized before. I'm gonna just throw that out there. This is my first time ever being baptized. That's why I did it. If I'd been baptized before, I probably wouldn't have done it again. So the church was saying they were having baptisms. I go to church pretty much every Sunday, and I've been going to church pretty much every Sunday for like a year, almost 2 years with my family. I go to the church my family goes to. So, and I used to not go to church. Like when I was a kid, I grew up in the church, but once I turned 18, honestly, I became like, I don't even want to say a full-blown atheist, but I definitely was not like an actual Christian anymore when I was like 17. Like I turned 17, and what happens with a lot of people that age, you feel like you know everything about everything, and you feel like you know you just feel like you've got life all figured out, you got the world all figured out, you understand everything now. And I just was not believing in God anymore. I think that I just kind of was going through a lot, and you know, especially for someone who not a lot of positive things were happening in my life, and still to this point, you know, still to this day, it's really just been, my life has been a lot of turmoil. My life has been really, really difficult for the past decade. But, you know, I think at the time when I was like 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever, I mean, it was the worst when I was like 17, 18, but I think as I started getting closer and closer, because I think I was 23 when I became born again, and it's been a journey. It's really been a journey, because I was 23 when I came back to being Christian, but I wasn't going to church. Then I started going to church like 2 years ago. Then I started kind of changing my life, you know, as we've been going, you know, and now I'm baptized, you know. So it's like such a change of events, like it's such a timeline, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I personally say, when it comes to other people, or other people who are Christian maybe, or whatever, but are still living worldly, it's so easy for Christians to judge people. It's so easy for Christians to judge people, especially other Christians. And now that I'm a little bit older, and I am walking in my faith and everything, it is, how do I say this? I don't judge people. I don't judge non-believers. I don't judge sinners. I may judge people who are just blatantly Satanism and just blatantly blasphemous. I may be like turned off from that, but people who want to be Christian but are still living worldly in some kind of way, I just look at myself when I was, now I probably wasn't doing like no crazy stuff, don't get me wrong, but everybody has their own sinful things that they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Sin is sin. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Your sin is not any better than this person's sin. Now, yeah, you know, someone who has a sin of like, I don't know, like cursing someone out is probably not the same as murder, you know, but I think that's just what we feel on earth, you know, that one outweighs the other, but apparently to God, they're all pretty much the same. You know, you really don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Don't think that I'm not a killer, so I'm perfect. Like, there's still things to work. You really have to look at yourself and look at what you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And really try to work on, you know, the things that you need to work on, you know? And I don't really think I want to really discuss the sin that I have had to overcome and maybe certain things I still am battling with. And I think that as a Christian, there's probably something you'll always battle with. Now, maybe there are some people, I do believe, some people feel like this isn't true, that there's no perfect human. And no, I don't think any humans are perfect, but I do think that some people, like really high level ranking monks or like really high ranking nuns or like certain people, I do think are very close. I think some people are really...
Mommy, I want some food.
Hold on, okay? Hold on. Well, let me finish filming. I think some people do take stuff like that extremely seriously and truthfully are very, very close to living a sinless life, right? But I also feel like there's no human being that ever walked this earth besides Jesus Christ himself who is perfect, right? Anyway, when I see somebody, I just don't judge them and I just say, you know what, that's their walk. And who am I to judge and say, this is where they are, this is where they could be in a couple of years. Adam, can you go back to your room, please? Even the people who are probably like full-blown like Satanists and things like that, I still like, they're still alive and they still can change. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I just have learned to just try to be an example for other people. I try to, you know, do the best I can. I'm never going to condemn somebody or talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just really not. And even if I do it privately or in my mind or something, I'm just not going to come for someone because I feel like that could make someone get further from God. When you have people who are supposedly God's people, you know what I'm saying, God's followers, Christ's followers, if they're coming against you, that doesn't make you want to get further into God, you know what I'm saying? That makes you want to distance yourself. You're like, well, my worldly friends don't come down on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, the life I was living, you know what I'm saying? People were less judgmental and everybody was, you know what I'm saying? And yes, the most hurt you feel can be from other Christians. The most hurt you can feel can be in the church. And I have experienced that as well. You know, I talked about it in a video. I'm not really going to talk about it again, but I have dealt with my experience with having hurt in the church. And that's a big reason why, again, being 17, I grew up in a church that kind of just had some corruption, and that also changed my view of things. The bishop of the church lost the church because of money management. It wasn't nothing bad, but it was like he kind of lost the church because of bad money management, but yet he was driving a Rolls Royce and taking Hawaii vacations every year and like just have such a lavish life. And I'd just be like, the rest of us out here struggling and all this and all that, you know. And even to this day, the church I go to isn't necessarily perfect. I have my own issues with that church, but I've just learned to just move past it, like not even give it attention anymore and just go to connect with God and just, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here to look for friends in the church anyway. Sure, I would love to have Christian friends, but I might not find them at my church. I've developed almost like a family-like bond with some of the people there anyway. Even though it may be surface level, it's still like I've thought about, oh, I'm gonna go to a different church. Well, at this point, I do think, because they know the kids and all this stuff, I might stay at this church for a while. But, you know, it's still a journey even with that. Talking about the actual baptism. So yeah, like, I originally signed up a month ago and I had to go to a class. I was supposed to go to 2 classes, but honestly, the lady said, like, if you don't do the second class, it's honestly okay, because we already went through a lot of stuff. So we did the class, and I don't know, like, I've had to kind of go to church this entire month, and it's been hard. It's been really hard going to church when last weekend on Saturday we worked that concert and got home at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was super exhausted. I mean, I was tore up from the flow up. The last thing I wanted to do is wake up early in the morning and go to church. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but truthfully, like, I just was super tired from the night before at my job. And if I didn't have to kind of be there for the sense of, like, my baptism is coming up, like, I probably wouldn't have went. It's okay to skip a church, a Sunday here and there. That's how I feel. I go almost every Sunday anyway. It may be okay to skip every now, especially, like, to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, and even my mom as well, she was like, bro, like, it was really, really challenging trying, deciding to go to church. Even my mom said that. So I can already tell you. And then even yesterday, I was super tired, but, we just had to do it. So, of course, I had to go today, But I'm trying to say, like, what I'm trying to say is now I can probably take a Sunday off if I needed to, because now all this baptism stuff is kind of like done. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say it in a way like, oh, glad that's over. It's not like that, but it's just like, it's been really, really challenging balancing work life, church, and just other things, having kids. It's been a lot. And I haven't even started really both of my jobs yet. Even my part-time and I haven't necessarily even started those jobs yet. I've only been doing my training hours for my part-time job. And on top of that, my grandma's talking about, well, do you want to be involved in the church now? You want to be a dancer, or you want to be in the choir? I'm like, let me start my jobs first. Then maybe we can consider that maybe at some point. But for now, I'm just like, I really need to see what my job schedule is going to look like and going to be, and if it's going to be too overwhelming or something, because yeah, I would like to be involved. I would like to do something, to be honest with you, but that's the next step. I was going to church, got baptized. The next step is to maybe serve in the church and actually kind of do something, but a lot, back when I wasn't going to church, I was working. I will admit, I used to work other retail jobs where I used to work on Sundays, so that was a reason why I wasn't going to church maybe at that time. And then, like, I became kind of self-employed, so I was like, I'll go to church. And now I work Monday to Friday. So, but sometimes with our stadium job, sometimes we might work on Sundays. So I'm just kind of giving you an idea. Anyway, so they told me to bring a change of clothes, a shirt, and some shorts and a towel. After church, I changed into my clothes and went into this room, and there was a couple of other people that were doing their baptism too. There was 2 other adults, young adults. Okay, so there were some children. There was like 7 of us. So there were some children, and then there were some 2 other young adults, and yeah, so basically I was the second to last one to go. And I was like, okay, if the children can do it, then I can do it. Because I was actually super nervous. Like, let's talk about this. I was super nervous. Like, once we were in that room, I was like, one thing, it was such a small room. And we were just packed in that room. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was trying not to just really get in my mind and think about things, because I really could just start burst into tears. I could start crying even before. I was just like, just don't think about anything, just think about the kids, just be chill, because I really don't feel like being super emotional right now. I just kind of was telling myself, don't get really emotional, because I know people love to see stuff like that in the church, like people crying and all this stuff. I'm not really like that. Once again, maybe that's a walk kind of thing, because I'm not ready to do that. I don't like showing my emotions in front of people like that. It's just kind of weird. So I was just kind of like, plus I was just nervous. I was like, I don't know why I was nervous, but I was like, the room felt like it was moving and everything. And then I saw people they started going. So I went up there. It was my turn. I went, and the first thing I noticed is that the water was very, very warm, and it definitely was very relaxing to given the fact that the water was so warm. I think that really kind of relaxed me. I don't know if I thought the water was going to be cold or something. That was something I really wasn't thinking about, but that's something that's probably I'll remember for the rest of my life, is just the water was super warm, like a nice warm bath. I almost wanted to just like lay in there all day, like the perfect temperature. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't lukewarm, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't room temperature. It was just a perfect relaxing spa type of bath type of water. And it had like a little thing where, it wasn't like completely like a pool. There was kind of a thing that you can put your back on, so you're not just completely like, how some people get baptized like in a river, in the ocean or something. And I think that's really cool. I really do. But it's not really like that. You kind of had something to put your back on, so you don't just fully like fall back. And I don't think anyone had my back. I remember the pastor literally telling a man, you've got to support the back, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put your hand on their back. But I'm like, I'm the second to last person, like, at this point. But I think the thing is, like, and you saw me doing this because he asked me, he said, you can hold your breath, right? And I was like, yeah. So I started doing this because I thought that I was gonna have to do that. But then in the last minute, he took that cloth and he didn't shove it in my face, but I had to move my hand, and he did like that, and so he did like that. And I think once I went down, coming up was like crazy, because like I kind of had to get myself up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I almost felt like, once again, don't freak out, because this could end very, very badly if I don't take control of the situation. So I was kind of like trying to make sure that I could get myself up, because it was kind of a struggle. I ain't gonna lie. Like, with happening so fast, and the weight of the water can kind of push you down and stuff. So I kind of had to really like, you know what I'm saying, latch on and make sure that I can get myself up and everything. Plus, it's slippery and all this stuff. But it was seamless. It worked out, and that was great. I was soaking wet. I dried myself off, and then I went into a room, changed clothes, and boom, that was it. So did I really feel anything when I got baptized? Technically not really. More than anything, I was just so focused on not drowning. I know you might like, I love the water, I love pools, I love swimming, I love the ocean. I don't really have any issues with drowning. I just was hoping that I wasn't gonna slip and like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's the kind of thing that I was kind of more so thinking of. It's like when someone is doing you like this and you have to kind of get up like that. I'm not kind of used to that. So I was trying, and I was kind of in an awkward position because I kind of had to like kneel down a little bit and stuff. So I was so focused on not drowning that I wasn't really focused on how I felt. The lady at my baptism class was just like, I just looked at the water and just saw all my sins. And I'm like, sis, I just never had time to sit and think. Since even to this point right now, I never really had time to really just sit and think. After church, I came home, I ate, and I took a nap, which I usually do every Sunday. I take a nap. Woke up from the nap, kids doing what they do. So I'm just saying, I never really had too much of a moment. Now, I did have a slight moment when my mom was cooking, and she had me, stir the rice. And then she went outside, and I kind of was by myself for just 2 minutes, right? I didn't have to look at the kids. I didn't have to focus on anybody. And I started thinking about this song on the piano where it's like, let me just hum it. It's like, dun, 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 dun. Like that song was just playing in my mind. So I was listening to that song, and I was playing that song in my mind, and it did kind of get me a little bit, and I almost wanted to shed a tear, but I was like, once again, like, don't, because my mom is here, my grandma, so that's kind of the thing. I feel like I have to suppress my true emotions so much because of having to look after the kids, or mom and granny are around and they're doing all this and all that. So that's why I kind of say I haven't really had a real moment to let it hit me, and it still probably won't hit me until a couple of days from now. I don't know. I know that I'm really gonna think really deeply about it at some point, and I'm gonna listen to some music, and I'm gonna like just start crying just off of that, and just think about things. But right now I just haven't had a chance or a moment to really do that. And because even tomorrow, even tomorrow I have to drive my grandma to she has eye surgery tomorrow for her cataracts. She's gonna get her right eye cataracts removed, so I have to be on on guard with stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway, so I just think that was a wonderful, sweet experience. I'm glad that it happened, because I can always say that I've been baptized. I think for so long I just knew like I'm not baptized, but I'm like, I'm still Christian. Like, I feel like you can go to heaven without being baptized. Like, but you start thinking about, you do think about things. And I've thought about, even when I was like just living a worldly life, I'm just like, God kept me protected and made sure I didn't die in sin. And I'm pretty sure there's still things that I am aware of or not aware of that I still need to, focus on. Like, one thing is the cursing. I don't know why I've been cursing so much lately. I don't really like to curse. I'm trying to stop doing that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's just little things that I'm even still trying to focus on and fix, but even when it comes to like finding a husband, like, I'm not looking for a husband. I'm gonna let God do his thing with that one. I want him to send me someone great, so even when it comes to that, like, there's just so many things that I really just like, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. But I have made such a transformation anyway. Like, I made a huge transformation in my life anyway. I don't really listen to secular music. I don't really watch bad movies. I don't like, there's just a lot of things that I do as a person that I've changed a lot in my life already. So I think that's shows a lot, and some of it is because of being a Christian. Some of it is just maturing and getting older. Some of it is just been there, done that. There's just a lot of different things that lead to why I'm the person that I am today and why I'm still on this journey, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I feel like I could have a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video talking about being a Christian and all this and all that. I really mainly wanted to talk about my baptism in this video. Plus, I keep running out of space, so I really kind of need to wrap this video up now. So yes, this has been a wonderful moment, and I'm glad that I did this, and I'm still alive, I'm still here, and I feel like I'm securing my spot in the kingdom one day at a time. Am I perfect today? No, but I'm a lot better than I used to be, and we still, like I said, it's still a day at a time, but I definitely feel closer to God. I'm not going to say I know for a fact I'm going to heaven, but I definitely feel good about if I were to, something were to happen to me, I do feel like I would be with the Lord. I really do. So, you know, yeah. So I think that's something that's very important. You know, a lot of times we're so focused on our day-to-day lives when it comes to working and, you know, having your own place and your car and all these things, but a lot of times a lot of us forget, the Christians in particular, we forget that what really matters is your eternal life. You know what I'm saying? This life on earth is temporary, and, you know, your body is, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna pass away. The only thing guaranteed in this life is death. You're going to die someday, so why not secure your spot somewhere where you will be taken care of? You don't have to worry about bills and a job and all this stuff in the afterlife. You don't have to worry about, you know, everything is taken care of for you, and it's the most beautiful, wonderful place to be ever. Like, you thought this world was beautiful. Heaven is like unfathomable. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, I want to make a video talking about how I feel about the afterlife, but I definitely believe in heaven and hell, and I definitely just want to be with God. I want to be with Jesus. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about seeing my loved ones who have passed away. It's about, like, literally, I just want to be with Jesus. Like, that's it. Like, I don't want to be nowhere where he ain't. That's it. Where God, you know what I'm saying? I want to meet God. I want to meet Jesus. I want to really